Hello, and welcome to Verbling. I'm Teacher Oakley, and for the next 3 days at this particular time slot here at Verbling, we're going to be learning about constructing sentences and word order. We'll be looking at the word forms, nouns, verbs, adjectives, adverbs, and the proper placement of these word forms in a sentence. That and also other phrases like prepositional phrases or clauses. Basic structure or construction of the sentence. Okay, hello Heidi, how are you?
Hello.
Hi.
Nice to see you again.
Nice to see you. How was your weekend?
Weekend, every day it's very hot, and particularly after midnight, so I couldn't sleep well. I moved to another place. I always looking for a cooler place in my house, like a cat.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm sweating right now.
Last night I slept on the couch.
Yeah, you got to do what you got to do. Okay. Mark has joined us. Hello, Mark. Good to see you again.
Hello. How are you?
I'm good. Long time no see. How have you been?
Yeah, it's fine. I've been working a lot, and the classes are too late for me. That's why.
Right. Okay. Well, that's good. Good to hear you're working. Keeping busy.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Plenty of room in the class. If other students want to join us, let's get started after a brief introduction. Well, and after I say hello to Carolina. Hi, Carolina. Hello.
Hi, teacher. Hi.
Hi, hi, hi. Hi. Okay. We're going to look at construction of sentences. Now, for starters, I suppose that means you have to know what a sentence is, what it consists of. Very basic. There's three things, three rules. That's it. You need to have a subject, noun, to make a sentence. You must have a subject, noun. You must have a verb. And the sentence must be complete. It must have an understandable meaning. So it's got to be a complete idea. The confusion often is that it's an idea, but is it a complete and finished idea? When we use things like time subordinators, it's really only half an idea because the time isn't of the idea isn't included. If I just say when I go to sleep at night, that's not a complete idea. When you go to sleep at night, what? When I go to sleep at night, I toss and turn. Fine. Now that's a complete idea. So, as we look at our sentences, and we're going to be doing this for 3 days, looking at adding different elements, keep that in mind. You got to have a subject, a verb, and it's got to be a complete idea. Hello, Mustafa.
Hello, teacher. Good to see you today.
Welcome to the class.
Thank
Good
you.
to see you, as always, of course. And Laura has joined us. Hello, Laura. Laura, hello. Are you connected? It looked like you were having some difficulty, maybe. Laura, can't hear you right now. I'm not sure if it's a settings issue, microphone issue, or perhaps connection issue. You can try rejoining if it's, check your settings, of course. You can try rejoining if that doesn't work. When you get connected, Laura, just give me a shout out, say hello, so I know that we can interact. Okie doke. In this class, I'm going to present you with some material for 10 or 15 minutes. As I'm doing that, please don't be shy. As I'm presenting this material, if you have any questions, go ahead and just ask. Just, teacher, could you explain this more? Whatever. Don't be shy about it. After I present all this material, we're going to do a lot of different exercises to practice what we've learned. So, again, here we go. I'm going to screen share some material and talk about it. Here we are. All right. Well, we're starting. Laura, are you there? Laura, hello?
Hello.
There we go. Okay. Hi, Laura. Welcome to the class. Okay. Laura, if you wouldn't mind muting your microphone when you're not speaking, there's some background noise or something. Okay? Thank you. Okay. Well, we're starting a little backwards in the sentence. Well, a little bit. First, we're going to look at the verb and object rather than start with the subject noun. I will talk about subject nouns and object nouns. The subject noun does the action. The object noun, the action happens to the object noun. I'm starting just a little bit backwards because it's easier to understand that rather than look at the subject noun, we do different things at the beginning of the sentence. I'm kind of starting at the end of the sentence here. The verb and the object noun normally go together. We don't normally put anything between these two. So we're kind of in the middle of a sentence here. And we'll work our way out, I suppose. Verb and object, I like my job. Okay, so what happens? The action liking happens to the job. Very much. Okay, notice we don't normally say, I like very much my job. It's not really going to work, adding the adverb construction there with very. Question form, did you see your friends yesterday? Okay, the time phrase at the end. Of course, the question words at the beginning. So regardless if it's a positive statement or a question or a negative. Helen never drinks coffee. Or Helen doesn't drink coffee. Whatever, doesn't matter. What we're looking at here is that the verb and the object normally go together. Okay, more examples. Do you eat meat every day? Do you eat everyday meat? Doesn't really make sense. Although I hear this, and especially this kind of phrase, everybody enjoyed the party very much. I've definitely heard language learners saying everyone enjoyed very much the party. Doesn't really work. Okay. Our guide spoke English fluently. Now, okay. It is possible in many cases with these, notice what we're looking at here, it's time phrases and adverbs, or adverbs that are time phrases. Of course, if we're talking about many of these cases, not all, we're going to look at this more carefully, but for example, we can move around this adverb possibly, not really when it's a time phrase. For example, okay, I'm not going to separate the verb and the object, but what if I put every day in front of the verb? Do you every day eat meat? That's a little weird with time, okay? However, looking at the second example, everybody very much enjoyed the party. Actually, there's really nothing wrong with that. Our guide fluently spoke English. Okay, when the adverb or adverb phrase is working on the verb, it's usually okay to put that in front of the verb. When it's actually talking about the verb, not time, it's actually okay to do that. Actually, many times you should do that. But nonetheless, regardless, still our verb and object noun are together. That's the key point that I'm trying to make here. Okay. All right, and that goes for place as well. If you look at this last one at the end of the street, you'll see a supermarket on your left. We certainly do not see, same with time and place. We don't say at the end of the street, you'll see on your left a supermarket. It's out of order. It sounds weird. So let's talk more about place and time. Okay. Usually, all right, the verb and the place go together, especially if the verb is a verb to talk about going to the place or being at the place, if that's the meaning of the word. So, for example, go home, live in a city, walk to work. All right. If the verb has an object, the place comes after the verb. Take somebody home, meet a friend in the street, like that. Okay. Now, I know go home may seem a little strange. A quick word about that. You go to the mall, you go to work, you go to your grandmother's house. The only place that you don't use to for is home. You don't say go to home. So this is a kind of a case where it's there, but it's not there, really. The to is we don't use it to create, again, like to work, to the mall, in a city, create a prepositional phrase. So it's not really an object. It's not really considered an object. It's considered a place. All right, so that's a little weird thing in English. Any questions about place before we move on to time? Okay, the when, the how often, or the duration, how long, usually goes after place. So, for example, Ben walks, Ben, subject noun, walks, verb, to work, the place, then the time. This is another area I often hear mistakes for language learners. And to be honest, grammatically speaking, strictly speaking, there's no real rule. It's more a rule of collocation, what sounds normal and what sounds weird. So sometimes it sounds weird if you put the time first. It just doesn't seem right. Not that there's actually any concrete rule. However, it does sound a little strange. Sam has been in Canada since April. We arrived at the airport early. Okay, these all sound very normal. Sometimes it really doesn't. We arrived early at the airport. Doesn't sound that bad to me. Sam has, since April, has been in Canada. Oh, okay. But certainly Sam has been since April in Canada. Doesn't sound, that sounds terrible to me. I would have a hard time even understanding that. So, it's one of these things in English where sometimes it doesn't matter. There's no real rule about it. However, if you always make a habit of putting the place in front of the time, you're safe. Okay? There's actually several kind of rules or guidelines in English which are not really solid rules, but if you do it that way, you're always going to be correct. Okay. More examples. I'm going to Paris on Monday. Not I'm going on Monday to Paris. See, that sounds just really weird. There's such phrases. They've lived in the same house for a long time. Make sure you're here by 8 o'clock. Yeah, it sounds really weird to say make sure by 8 o'clock. Make sure you're by 8 o'clock here. Sounds odd. Now, moving that time phrase in front, make sure to the front here, make sure by 8 o'clock you're here. That's actually okay. But swapping these directly, okay, sometimes that time phrase can be moved around. Next example, Sarah gave me a lift home after the party. See, that's always going to be right, place and time. Sometimes the time phrase can be moved around. For example, the beginning of the sentence, before the subject noun, after the party, comma, Sarah gave me a lift home. That sounds perfectly fine as well. But not always. If you look at the next example, you really shouldn't go to bed so late. Sounds terrible if I say so late you really shouldn't go to bed. That does not compute. It sounds very odd. So it doesn't always work. Okay. Well, all right, what I just said. It's often possible to put the time at the beginning of the sentence. On Monday, I'm going to Paris. Okay, every morning Ben walks to work. Some time words, especially words that show duration, like always, never, usually, all right, go with the verb in the middle of the sentence. We'll look at that probably tomorrow, actually. We're going to look more carefully at adverbs, specifically, tomorrow. Okay, let's see if we've got this here. Okay, we're going to do an exercise. We're going to look at these sentences, and you're going to decide, is the order right or wrong? You read the sentence, first of all. Tell me if you think it's right or wrong, and correct it if it's necessary to do so. For example, everybody enjoyed the party very much. There's no problem there. Number 2, Ben walks every morning to work. That sounds strange. Again, place before time. If it's wrong, you're going to want to correct it. So Heidi, number 3.
Joe doesn't like very much football. I think it's wrong because football is a direct object, so we should connect to each other.
That's right. It's a direct object. It should be connected with the verb. Right. Okay. This actually has a different meaning. It occurs to me that if I leave the sentence the way it is, it actually is a good sentence, but it means something completely different. All right. So Joe doesn't like football very much. All right. He doesn't like the game of football. However, if I keep this sentence the way it is, Joe doesn't like very much football. Maybe he likes football. He just doesn't like to play it a lot, repeatedly, over and over again, many times. We don't know how much he actually likes the game. He doesn't like very much football, so a lot of football, which is kind of weird. So, okay, in some instances, as we look at this, the sentence may still make sense, but it means something else entirely. Okay, Mark, number 4.
Before, I drink 3 or 4 cups of coffee every morning. It's right, and I think we could put every morning at the beginning of the sentence as well.
Every morning I drink 3 or 4 cups of coffee? Sure you could. Yes, you could. Mark, so when you do that, say you're going to put every morning in the front, do you have to do anything else to the sentence?
Every morning I drink 3 or 4 cups of coffee. I don't think so.
Okay. Another kind of English pain in the neck guideline. No, probably here you don't, because it's a continuous thought. But you might put a comma after every morning, comma, I drink 3 or 4 cups of coffee. Right? Okay.
Yeah, right.
Now, here's another one of these stupid English rules where the actual grammar rule is, in some cases, you don't need to do that. especially if it's a very short sentence. All right? But in other cases, you are required to do that. However, here's the kicker. However, if you put a comma, if you write a time phrase and you put a comma, and for that matter, also a place prepositional phrase, if you put one of those in the beginning of the sentence and you put a comma, you're never wrong. You can't be wrong. It's never wrong to do it. However, sometimes it's wrong to not do it.
Okay.
English is crazy that way. There's all these rules where if you just follow the rule, you're okay. If you choose not to follow the rule, maybe you're okay, maybe you're not okay. It's really quite ridiculous, but there it is. Okay. Moving on. Carolina, number 5.
I ate quickly my breakfast and went out. I think that I ate my breakfast and went out. No, I ate my breakfast quickly and went out.
Okay. Yes. You're right. That would be the way it is now constructed is not good. The way you constructed it is definitely better. I ate my breakfast quickly and went out. Now, okay. Definitely this adverb quickly is acting on it's describing the verb, right? Carolina, is there anywhere else I could stick quickly in this sentence?
Yes, went out quickly.
Oh, but wait a minute. Okay. Oh, I didn't even think about that, actually. I should have clarified. Where else can you put it and not change the meaning of the sentence? Because I ate my breakfast and went out quickly means you left your house quickly. Then quickly is working on went. Right, so it obviously changes the meaning. Is there anywhere else I could put quickly to act on the verb ate?
I don't think so. I quickly ate my breakfast. That's yeah.
Yes, you could. The adverb could go in front of the verb. I quickly ate my breakfast and went out. I ate my breakfast quickly and went out. This is virtually the only place. This is really actually the only place in this sentence where quickly does not work. You could say, quickly I ate my breakfast and went out. I quickly ate my breakfast and went out. I ate my breakfast quickly and went out. I ate my breakfast and quickly went out. I ate my breakfast and went out quickly. It's virtually the only place you can't put this adverb is where it is right now.
Okay.
But of course, if you put it around went out, then the adverb would be working on went out. It would be describing how you went out. That's what an adverb does, by the way. Yes, Mustafa, if you put it at the end of the sentence, I ate my breakfast and went out quickly, then quickly would be working on went out, Mustafa, not ate. So yeah, it would actually change the meaning. Totally, actually. Okay, Mustafa, number 6. Ooh, a question.
Okay. Just a second. Are you going to invite to the party a lot of people? Are you going to invite a lot of people to the party?
Would be better. That's right. Because again, above all, the fundamental rule we're learning today is if there's a direct object, it needs to go with the noun. And that direct object is a lot of people. Right. Absolutely. It would have to be that way. Okay. Very good. Okay. Laura, number 7. Laura? Are you there? Okay. Microphone problems. Okay, can you give me a yes or no? You could type it. I'll read it for you. Is this sentence correct or not? I phoned Tom immediately after hearing the news. Is it okay? Yes or no? Laura, what do you think? Oh, Laura, no? Okay. Not getting an answer. Laura, a yes or no? Okay. She's not going to answer me. All right. Okay. I'll hand it off to Heidi then. Heidi, number 7.
I phoned Tom immediately after hearing the news. Yeah.
It's okay.
Okay.
It's okay.
Mhm.
All right. So immediately you can have it after that object noun, Tom. Is there anywhere else you could stick immediately?
After hearing the news immediately. No. It's okay.
It's okay where it is, no question.
After hearing the news, I phoned Tom immediately.
Okay. That's true. You could move the time phrase to the beginning of the sentence. That whole thing is that whole thing is a time phrase, starting with clause, actually. Yeah, that's true. You could do that, absolutely. Or you could put immediately in front of the verb. I immediately phoned Tom after hearing the news. Yes, it would be possible. Okay, so this happens a lot. The adverb can go in front, directly in front of the verb or behind the object noun. All right. Mark.
Yeah, number 8.
Great. Yeah.
Did you go to bed late last night? It should be the right.
Oh, yeah,
order.
right. Right. It's wrong the way it is. Did you go to bed late last night? Yeah. This is very confusing because the time phrase is some broken up. Yeah. It's very odd the way it is. Okay, right. The way you said it. Did you go to bed late last night? There's really. Did you go to bed last night? No. Did you go to bed late last night? Yes. Did you go to bed last night late? Sounds weird. You may notice just a general tendency when we have looked at questions that there's a lot less versatility. Yeah, it just, no rule there, just a general observation. In questions, you have a lot less ability to move things around. Mustafa, what's your question? I'm not clear. To the bed. Oh. Okay, I see. Mustafa's asking why it's not the bed. Why do we not need an article? Okay, because you're actually in this sentence, Mustafa, you're really not talking about your physical bed that you lie in at night and sleep in. That's not really the idea. If I say, what time do you go to bed, Mustafa, I have no idea what your bed looks like. I have no idea. Maybe you sleep in a big pile of dirty laundry. I have no idea if you even have a bed. You could sleep on the floor. You could sleep on a pile of leaves, Mustafa. That's okay. I'm not judging. I'm not here to judge you, Mustafa. But I can still use the phrase, what time do you go to bed? Even if you're sleeping on a pile of leaves, okay? Because it's a concept. It's more the concept of what time do you retire. Okay, so it's not. It's more like a set phrase that has that meaning. Doesn't really mean your actual bed. Got it. Okay. Carolina, number 9.
Did you learn a lot of things at the school today? I think it's correct. Or you can say today, did you learn a lot of things at the school?
Yeah, you're adding now. You're adding the. That's not even there. At school. Yeah,
At school.
it's not. Depends on your circumstances whether you need the with school here. If you're specifically talking about a specific school, then you would add the. This is the intention of the speaker. If you're talking about school in general, I learned a lot of things at school. I'm not talking about PS 31 on Marlborough Street. I'm not talking about a specific actual building. I'm talking about the concept of school. You don't need the. Okay, so did you learn a lot of things at school today? Seems very normal to me. Today, did you learn a lot of things at school? Sounds not wrong, Carolina, just odd. It sounds just a little bit strange. Not incorrect grammatically. You're right. It's possible, but it does sound slightly odd. Again, with questions, we seem to say them in one more specific way, and a lot less versatility. Is trying to get creative, really. Okay, Mustafa, number 10.
Okay, 10. I met on my way home a friend of mine. Okay, there is two possibilities for this sentence. I met a friend of mine on my way home, or we can say on my way home I met a friend of mine.
Okay, right. So you're moving the place to either the end of the sentence or the beginning of the sentence, right? That's basically all you're doing, right? Yeah, and that's correct. You're absolutely right about that. Yes, you got it. Okay. All right, we're going to do another sentence construction exercise here. We're going to put the parts of the sentence. You get nouns, adverbs, subject, noun, and verb. Subject, noun, and verbs are together. All right, construct a sentence. For example, the party very much everybody enjoyed should be everybody enjoyed. Okay, subject, noun, and verb. The party, object, noun, and the adverb phrase. Okay, Heidi, back to you. Number two.
We won the game easily.
Okay. Now we're really forcing it. You notice we're really forcing it by sticking the subject, noun, and the verb together. We're really forcing a certain sentence construction. You can't really do anything else but exactly what you did. You're absolutely correct. Putting the adverb after the object noun. So, good job. Right, Mustafa, that's what I'm saying. You could say we easily won the game, but because the exercise itself tells us to keep these two words together, we're really forcing a specific sentence structure. That's exactly what I was saying. Okie doke. Mark, number 3.
I closed the door quietly.
Okay. Very good. And that's what we're looking for. Now, it may be possible, and especially in short sentences like this, to put the adverb first, right? Quietly, comma,
Quiet.
I closed the door.
Mm-hmm.
But that's not always possible. And sometimes moving those adverbs around changes the meaning of the sentence. Carolina, number 4.
Tanya speaks German quite well.
There you go. Okay. So again, we're forcing a certain sentence structure with the adverb after the object noun. Mustafa, number 5.
Okay, Sam watches TV all the time.
Okay. Are you sure, Mustafa?
Sam watches.
Are you sure? Maybe
Yeah,
it's wait a minute, Mustafa. Maybe it's TV watches Sam. Just kidding. Who knows? Big Brother is watching you, Mustafa. Okay, you're right. Okay, very good. Heidi, number 6.
Please don't ask that question again.
Okay, very good. All right. Again, okay, another time word at the end of the sentence. Very good. Mark, number 7. Question.
Does Kevin play football every weekend?
There you go. Okay, very good. Great. Carolina, number 8.
I borrowed some money from a friend of mine.
Very good. All right. Okay, now, okay, I guess this is a place. Is this a place prepositional phrase from a friend of mine? Kind of. Is it place or purpose? I'm not even sure. Okay. Okay. Mustafa, what are you saying here with number 6? Again, please don't ask that question. Please don't
Yeah,
ask
I
that
can.
again.
If we say it like this, like what I wrote, it's
The
maybe
meaning changes.
yeah, it's like repeating.
It means I say again. Please don't ask that question.
Yeah, I've already said it once. Right. Or who knows how many times, but I see what you're saying. Yes, both of you are correct. Good observation. Okay. All right, let's put some more parts in order. Okay, as in the example, for a long time have lived in the same house. Ooh, where's the subject now? Oh, they're giving it to you. All right, they have lived in the same house for a long time. There it is. Okay, here's your subject noun, just so you know where it is. Okay, Mustafa, number 2.
Okay, I go to the supermarket every Friday.
Okay, place then time. Place
Or
then time.
I every day or can I say I every Friday go to the supermarket? I think I can say that.
No, you can't. You can say not I every Friday. That's strange. Now with that time, that's a time phrase. Again, we've looked at this before. It's always correct to put it at the end of the sentence. Sometimes it's okay. Frequently, it's okay to put it at the beginning. But before at the beginning, Mustafa means before the subject noun. So
Okay.
every Friday I go to the supermarket. That's fine.
Yeah, right.
Right. Not I every Friday go to the supermarket. That's not good.
Yeah.
That's not going to cut it. Okay. Heidi, number 3.
Why did you come home so late?
I don't know. That was very good. I felt obligated to answer your question. It was so good. Okay, perfect. Yeah, there's no other way. Again, with the sentences, we're really, really locked into a sentence construction. I was just trying to think, is there any other way to put this together, number 3 here, as a sentence? Why so late did you come home? Why home did you come so late? I just no. I can't think of another way to do it. All right, again, so pretty locked in there with those questions. Mark, number 4.
Sarah takes her children to school every day.
Terrific. Okay.
Or also, every day Sarah takes her children to school.
Yes. Okay. You're doing the same thing, just moving that time phrase, the very end or the very beginning. That's right. Okay. Carolina, number 5.
I haven't been to the cinema recently.
Very good. Okay. Excellent. All right. What verb tense are we using here? Bonus question.
Se me olvidó. I forget it, teacher. Past perfect. Past perfect.
Close. Present perfect.
Present perfect.
Yeah. It's a negative with not. Negative present perfect. Yeah. Okay. You're going to find that often with words like recently, of course. That's the use of the verb. Okay. All right. And Carolina, can you put recently into our time word or time phrase or whatever, adverb here? Can I put this at the beginning of the sentence?
I think so.
All right. Recently, I haven't been to the cinema.
Yeah.
Sure?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so.
Yep.
Yep. Okay. We're good with that. Okay, Mustafa, number 6.
Okay, please write your name at the top of the page.
Okay. And the place. Right. There's no time there. Just place. Yeah. Okay. Mustafa, is there a different way to construct the sentence?
No.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
Okay. Now, oddly, I disagree. Oddly, in written instructions, for example, during some kind of formalized test or something, you may see at the top of the page, comma, write your name. Please write your name and whatever, test number. Okay, something like that. So, strangely, a little more formally, yes, you can put this place phrase first. Okay? It is possible, actually. But it sounds a little more formal. You don't need to. You don't need that second comma, Mustafa, after please.
Really? I'm
Yeah.
not sure.
I'm pretty sure, yeah. well, I'm pretty sure.
Okay.
Please wipe your shoes. Please write your name. Please. Yeah, you don't need to a comma when you use please phrases. Okay. Okay. Heidi, back to you, number 7 here.
I remembered her name after a few minutes.
Okay. Pretty straightforward, what we've been doing all day. And could you put the time phrase first?
Yes, first. After a few minutes, comma, I remembered her name.
Yep, absolutely. Okay. And it really doesn't change anything. Really. Okay, Mark, number 8.
We walked around the town all morning.
Yep. Okay. Around the town all morning. All right. Place and then time. Great. You guys have got this. Carolina, number 9.
I didn't see you at the party on Saturday night.
Okay. Very good. All right. Number 10. Mustafa.
Okay. Some interesting books found and in the library. We found some interesting books in the library.
Oh, good for you.
Or in the library we found some interesting book.
Yeah. It sounds a little weird though. In the library, we found some interesting books. Sounds a little strange, at least for conversational English. Again, I'll say it again. This place thing, it's always correct at the end of the sentences. Sometimes it's correct at the beginning or the end. Sometimes it sounds a little bit strange. That one sounds just a little bit strange to me in the beginning.
Mm.
Okay.
Uh,
All right. Heidi, number 11.
Laura left this room.
Yeah.
Before.
She had to go get her umbrella.
Laura left her umbrella in a restaurant last night.
And left the verbal class to go get it. Yes. Yes, she did.
Can we change the last night and in the restaurant?
Laura left her umbrella
last night in a restaurant.
last night in a restaurant. Okay. As I said way earlier in the class, there's actually no absolutely strict rule about this. So, can you? Yeah, you can. Does it sound strange? Wait, let me say it again. Laura left her umbrella last night in a restaurant. I do hear native speakers do this occasionally.
Mm.
Are they doing it because they're making a slight error, or I don't know. Not really. It's not really an error, technically speaking. Technically, yes, you can do it. Often it's going to sound odd. In this particular case, it doesn't sound that bad, does it? It doesn't sound that bad to me, actually. In this particular case, why? Because maybe you want to emphasize last night. Or, okay, and you could put it in the beginning. That's right, Mustafa. Last night, Laura left her umbrella in a restaurant. Okay, that sounds better if you really want to emphasize the time. Yeah. Mark, how about the last one here?
They are building a new hotel opposite the park.
Okay. Very good. All right. I think we've kind of got down the verb and object noun thing. Okay, let's all right, we've been looking at ones with hang on a second. I'm going to play around with something else. Let's try something. Since we buzzed through that pretty quickly, I'm going to screen share and have you guys, let's try something different here. Okay, we've looked at a whole bunch of sentences with one time phrase and one place phrase. What happens when we have to add a bunch of time phrases? Okay. Can you add, Carolina? Maybe, you know what can you give me a sentence with more than one time phrase?
One time.
One sentence with more than one time phrase, for example.
Yesterday, early in the morning,
There we go.
I went to the supermarket.
Thank you. Very good job. Okay. Where am I? Okay. There you go. Yesterday, early in the morning, I went to the supermarket. Okay. Do I need to do anything else to this sentence?
Comma.
Where?
I think that after I went, or after, yeah, before I went. Mm-hmm.
Okay. Anything else? Anybody in the class?
Another comma.
Another comma? Where?
Yesterday.
After yesterday.
Yeah.
Actually, you're right. Yesterday, early in the morning, I went to the supermarket. All right. And, of course, if we wanted to, we could reverse. I went to the supermarket yesterday, early in the morning, like that. Okay. Yesterday, comma, I went to the market, comma, early in the morning. Yeah, actually, that might be a much better way to do it, actually. Put this time phrase in the at last. So, okay, I'm meaning to say we have options at the beginning. We can line them up in the beginning. We can line them up at the end. We could actually even break them up. It is even possible to do this. As Mustafa suggests, yesterday I went to the supermarket. Now, early in the morning. Okay. Do I need a question? Do I need a comma here? Do I need a comma in here?
No,
Anybody?
you don't need. You don't need comma.
No, I do not. Because I have it at the end of the sentence, I do not need a comma there now. I do need one here because I have to separate this extra idea. Okay.
Teacher, I'm not sure. Like I said in my sentence in the chat box, like early in the morning, I went to the market yesterday. I think early in the morning we can't put comma after it, but maybe we don't have to put comma before yesterday. So can
Well,
you see
you
the chat?
okay? Yeah, I do see your construction, and it's frankly it's very confusing. Maybe the one way we can't really do it. Yeah, I see in the chat box. Early in the morning, I went to the market yesterday. That's kind of strange. Now, why is that kind of strange? Okay, actually, this is the important point that I actually wanted to get to. All right. In 1992. Whoops, not 19,000. Okay, 1992. On whatever February 14th at 5 in I fell in a hole. I don't know, whatever. Okay. I remember it well. Okay, whatever. Okay, now I've got little prepositional phrases here with multiple time phrases. What if I mix these up? Okay. Can I mix these up?
You can mix them, but the question is how it would be the order of it, like from the modern to the past, or
Yeah, that would be the question, wouldn't it? Okay. At 5 in the morning on February 14th in 1992, should I go backwards? Can I do this? Can I start out with on February 14th in 1992 at 5 in the morning?
you mix them up?
Yeah, I'm mixing them all up. Can I do this? Does this make sense to you guys? What do you think of
No,
this?
it doesn't make sense.
This last one is hard to understand, isn't it? Yeah, it's difficult to grasp the meaning of this because you're jumping around with time. Okay, so how about this one, where we start out instead of starting with the big time and work our way to the smallest? Would this make sense?
Yes, it makes sense.
I fell in a hole. Okay.
But in my opinion, teacher, it makes sense more if we start from the from late to the
From
earlier.
the big
Yeah.
one, the first example.
Yeah.
Yeah, and for me too. Generally speaking, you're absolutely right. Generally speaking, when we do this, and whether, okay, again, we already seen that our time phrases can be at the beginning of the sentence or the end of the sentence. Generally speaking, you're absolutely right. If we're going to list a bunch of specific times like this, we would generally go from the big one to the more specific one. The more general or bigger, I don't know, a year to a month to a day to an hour, like that, instead of the other way around. But you do have a point. It can be the opposite way as well. This is also okay to do the opposite order, from the most specific time to the most general. But you can't do this. You can't mix it all up. It gets very, very confusing. Okay. All right. What about, okay, I'm going to take this whole phrase here. All right. And mess around with it a little more. Okay. I fell in a hole at the airport in Manila. Oh my goodness. Okay. Can I do this? Does this seem like an okay sentence? Heidi, what do you think?
Yeah, it's okay.
I fell in a hole at the airport in Manila. It was a terrible, terrible thing. Okay, I have this place first. All right, can I move it? Can I? We've been practicing moving it. Can I put this in the beginning of the sentence and then have all the rest?
Airport. No.
No. Okay, well, let's look at the whole thing.
At the airport in Manila in 1992. Oh, it's strange, right?
At the airport in Manila in 1992 on February 14th, 5 in the morning, I fell in a hole. It is strange. It is strange to do this. If we have multiple place and time prepositional phrases, technically speaking, I think you can do this, but this is weird. Okay? It's just weird, and no one would ever do this. You're going to, in general, all right, if you have
in the morning at the airport in Manila, I fell in a hole.
Yeah, okay. Well, you're just cutting or reducing the amount of crazy prepositional phrases you're using, which in some cases that would most certainly be the proper answer. Absolutely, if you can get away with it, but it may not be possible. You need to pick up the CEO of the company at Gate B in the eastern wing of the Manila airport at 3:52 in the afternoon on December 16th. It may be that you have to have all that information. It's possible. But notice when I just made that up off the top of my head, I very naturally said you need to pick up the CEO first. And just so you know, whenever you have these multiple prepositional phrases, it's a good idea to get your subject, verb, object first. Get it out there so you don't get lost in all the times and places and not even know what action is taking place. Generally speaking, in English, we're always going to have that subject, verb and object first, so we know what the heck we're doing all these times and places. Yeah. Okay. Anyway, our time for this verbling class. Our verbling class at this time, at this hour, on this day, in this specific place is about over for now because we're out of time. So thank you very much.
Thank you very
And,
much.
Very much.
see you again
Thank you,
soon.
teacher. Bye bye.
All right.